The Matt Mosley Show out here at Waco Surf. We are live at a remote in a wonderful location. I mean, it is just like this oasis. You're driving, and then all of a sudden out here, this is an incredible place, and great to be here. All the kids are back in school, but man, folks are still out here surfing and taking advantage of the lazy river. And right off the top here, I wanted to do this. Sarah Wiseman joining us, the marketing director at Waco Surf. And welcome to the Mosley Show. We're happy to have you, especially a fellow member of the Metroplex, someone who comes to us from the colony. But now are you a full-fledged Wacoan or Central Texan now?
I would say so.
You identify as that? Okay.
I would definitely say that.
All right. And much like me, now you're drinking some tea or something over here.
Yeah.
But the great thing about Waco Surf, Sarah, is like I saw like acai bowls and salads, and I water parks of my youth. I only thought I could get like the burgers and dogs, but you guys have just about everything. And in fact, they already told me about there's like a dive bar.
Yeah, you got your swim up dive bar where you can get, your alcoholic drinks and enjoy the pool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So lots of options out here.
Yeah.
Now, me being a good Baylor man, not going to partake in the alcohol, but the lazy river, I did, I don't know where they are, but I got my suit
and
everything. And so I'm hoping to take a dip because that looked really nice around there. So this has got to be an interesting time of year because y'all have had the blast of summer and people coming out here to get out of the summer heat. And now you kind of transition into a different part of, but it's, again, y'all are still going full tilt.
Yeah.
And while you'll transition a little bit here in the middle of September, still some of the park open even into January.
Yeah, our Surf Lagoon and then our Shred Mill is open until January 3rd. So there's still options available. It's just that water park, which is our slides and lazy river, will close. So there's still plenty of options, and we pretty much run all year except for like 2 months out of the year.
Okay. Now, for people that don't know, the Shred Mill, give us a little thought on that.
It's our deep dive standing wave. So it's more kind of like wake surfing in a sense. So it's better for newbies. So if you haven't surfed before, I would start on that and then get into the Surf Lagoon. Start
there, and then right behind us is the Surf Lagoon. And I even heard, I was out there just kind of observing, and I heard some instructions. So you've got the lifeguards and everything, but you also have somebody on the PA kind of reminding people, okay, you need to catch that wave, or you might want to give them a little space out there. How many folks can be trying to catch a wave at the same time?
Yeah, so it depends on which level you're in. So there's beginner sessions. You've got 15 people total with you, and it's a 4-wave set. So you're going to have 4 different waves running at one time. So each person will be on a wave. And then intermediate, you have 12 people, and then advanced, you have 12 people as well. And then those are 3-wave sets. So you'll have 3 running at each time.
All right. I always I love the kind of the history of places. Because this is one of those true, you build it and they will come.
Exactly.
Like the old movie, Field of Dreams. Did you ever see Field of Dreams?
I did.
Okay. All right. They built that baseball park. Yes. But they, I mean, this is really a fun place out here. What year was it? Now, you arrived in 2022 out here.
Yes, 2022.
At Waco Surf. How did this has become a place that not just Texans, I mean, obviously people from Dallas, Austin, Houston come up, but even people from as far, like international folks. Was that word of mouth? Like, obviously you've done a great job getting the word out, marketing and all. What would you say was like the turning point where it's like, oh my gosh, okay, they really, really know about us? Was there a certain summer or year that it really started to pop out here?
I would honestly say probably 2022. That was the main focus whenever the transition happened from the old place to the new place and the name change. It was more of a focus of let's push this out there. Let's do marketing on this. They were kind of known for other different things before the Surf Lagoon was open, which that opened in 2018.
Okay.
And then after that, there was a push to make it more family friendly.
Yeah.
Whenever Waco Surf came into play, it was making it family friendly, pushing out more activities, making sure that people know about us. And then ever since then, I feel like it's progressed more and more.
Yeah, it's really, and even recently, y'all had some kind of like big time celebrity out here. I mean, you have interesting folks.
We have a good amount of interesting people that come out here and that are known. So
some of them you can't reveal.
No, I'm not going to talk about them.
But some
I'm not
of
gonna
them,
name drop.
yeah. But that was, I mean, there one particular recently, someone who had an amazing story.
Oh,
yeah, there's one I was thinking about.
Well, she has a public. I'm assuming you're talking about Bethany.
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
she had an event out here, so she will do an event with us once a year, sometimes twice a year. Just depends on how much traction she gets. But she put on an event, and then we're just the host of it.
Yeah.
So she was, that was a public event for her.
So who's the? I think in terms of golf. And like the director of golf or the golf pro, who's the surf pro? Do you have somebody on staff that's sort of known as the elite, either teacher or maybe they're still like incredible at surfing? Who's the? I mean, or is it a few?
We've got plenty. Of those. Yeah,
okay.
We've got plenty of those that
you're
come
not
out.
willing to say who's at the top of the mountain.
I'm not a name dropper, but yeah, no, we've got plenty of those that do come out for different things. So we've got this Nines event that we do every year. That'll be in October. We're also planning a public day for that. It should be October 10th, and we'll announce more about that coming forward. We have tons of athletes that come out, whether they're skate, whether they're surf. It'll be fun. Everybody loves the footage that we post on social media about it. And so now this is the first year where we're doing a public day, and it's going to be crazy. So people can actually come and watch versus it being completely blocked off. So that'll be our 10th. We're figuring out, the logistics, and we'll announce that soon. I think in the next coming weeks, we'll announce how much the tickets are, what's going to come with it, and all that. So that'll be fun to do because there's so many athletes that come out.
I was just thinking about that in terms of like, there's one lake in Texas where Red Bull has one of those.
It's kind of
maybe
like
near Graham or something,
so
but
it's kind of like that, but it's put on by Swatch Nines. Swatch is the watch company. Exactly. So
that I'm wearing as we speak.
Swatch Nines comes out. They sponsor. They have a whole bunch of sponsors. They get all these athletes that come out, which are sponsored by Red Bull and stuff like that. So it's fun to see. They put up a skate park. They're here for, they come out 2 weeks in advance, and then they put this event on for all these athletes for like a couple of days, and it's crazy.
Now, why were you drawn to this place? Obviously there was an opening at some point, so you wanted a job, but at the same time, it sounds like you've got really good experience and a background in marketing and all that. How did this work out for you? Yeah,
so my background in the colony was I worked at Hawaiian Falls for 11 years. And so I kind of, when the pandemic happened, I kind of switched to a marketing agency. It wasn't my favorite, but I wanted to get back in the entertainment industry, but I wanted to do it in a different way. And then I saw Waco Surf, and I made the leap and been here ever since. Love it.
When I was growing up, we had Whitewater in like Garland, and then in Arlington was Wet and Wild. And those were the big ones. And I remember the first Lazy River, we'd hang out there a lot, and then do the crazy ones like Der Stuka, which was like, I think it was like too fast. It was like, it was pretty wild. And White Lightning, and they would like time you and all that kind of thing. So this is really cool how you took something that was in existence, but have kind of turned it into like a huge destination place. And I think one of the keys is having the built out, like I'm looking at a coffee bar off to our side here, and the surf snacks, and then a nice, you have all the food around the corner here on another kind of thing. And then the dive bar, as you said. So there's a lot of,
also at the water park, you have your burgers and your hot dogs that you were talking about. And then on Thursday through Sunday, we have a saloon restaurant that's open upstairs, and it serves a bunch of different foods as well.
Okay. And if folks wanted to start kind of planning for maybe next summer or even, into January, some of the folks who are really wanting to still surf and as you said, the kind of the wakeboard or almost the training for that, what do you call it? The shred?
Shred mill.
It's a shred mill.
The standing wave.
What are some of your like overnight options?
So we have a total of 13 hotel rooms, 11 of them being standard rooms. And then we have 2 suites, and then as well as cabins that can sleep from 2 to 14 people. And then we also have 2 houses that can sleep 10 people and 14 people. So we have plenty of options for plenty of different people.
Now, have you had any of the Baylor athletes come out yet? Okay.
The football team came out recently over the summer, like a couple weeks ago, as well
Okay.
as the volleyball team. They typically, once they're kind of doing training, this is like
Yeah.
a fun place to come and just have a day.
All right. And do you remember anybody being good at surfing? Does anybody on the football
surf.
team?
No,
Oh,
they didn't surf. They did
they-
the water park, and then they hung out.
They
on
have
the
to just
beach.
kind of
Yeah,
like take
they
it
were-
easy.
No, they don't need to
surfing. Yeah. Not that you
They
have
don't
too
need to
many
tweak
injuries.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Pull something.
that's right. That's right. It can be a little strenuous, but it's kind of cool because, like, I think of being in California or Florida and like watching folks with their surfboard and whatever that is they're doing, waxing the board or kind of. And there's a young guy out here who's like 13 or 14. Man, he was just kind of waxing down that board and getting it ready. And so I would think for especially when those kids beginners courses and all that, you sort of in a way launch new just a whole new generation of surfers in a sense,
do.
right here in Central Texas, which is kind of wild.
Do. Yeah, we just had a guest. He's been coming the last couple of years. His daughter learned to surf here, and he's like, I will never leave this place. He absolutely loves it, and they progress more and more each year. And it's just like a fun family destination. And even if you don't have a family, it's a fun destination to begin with.
Yeah. Well, we at Rogue, we've had a lot of fun, talking about you guys. I like the commercials when they run, and there's just a lot of fun stuff that's happening. And I love that people come in from the Metroplex or wherever in Texas. So congratulations on everything. And I'm going to finish the show today.
Perfect.
I may do a dip in the lazy river.
You got to.
And then I'll go check out some of the food options, And I thought Stephanie seemed like she would have brought me something. That did not happen.
Ooh,
yeah. See, she was over there working on that acai bowl. Yeah, no, she's it's okay. It's too late. It's too late now, Stephanie. But Stephanie is she's a good friend, and she's also an on-air personality. We should have seen her back in her radio days. Her alter egos. We won't get into some of her alter egos, some of her aliases. But well, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming out.
Great to have. Yeah, great to be here, and love talking about you guys. And now that I kind of know the way.
Yeah, and you got to enjoy that lazy river after.
I'll do it. Yeah, it looks nice and cool
It
on a day
definitely
that's
is.
probably going to soar above 100. So thank you very much,
Of
Sarah.
course. Thank you for having me.
Great to meet you.
Thank you.
And great to have Sarah Wiseman with us on the Mosley Show as we go live from Waco Surf. Mike, come in here on a tight shot there. Although we've lost, I think Sarah brought certain flair to the broadcast. We've lost her now, but behind me, there we have it. We have all the. I was going to turn around here and see what was happening right now. Okay, we got some folks out there. I count about 7 to 8, 10 surfers as we speak. And again, this is pretty impressive because a lot of the kids, pretty much everybody's back in school, and then still folks out here. And behind me, okay, Mike, thank you. Mike Hamilton, making sure I clarify the advanced class. The advanced class is going. So, if you see some people who look pretty good, don't feel intimidated because these are advanced surfers doing their thing here. And this is a real nice, the area you kind of come through before you get out to that, the surf lagoon kind of does remind you, now this is a little nicer than some of the surf shacks I've seen in California, but they've got some bean bags, just things you can hang out and do in here. And appears to be some form of a bar right over to my right. Although I don't know if those are coffee drinks. I see a bunch of cans. I don't know what all they have to offer over there, but it does look fun. And again, the surf, the whole water park and everything is open until September 13th. But that shred mill, kind of the wakeboarding experience to kind of help you get ready for the surf, and the surf lagoon open all the way through January. And so it's a long season. And of course, then the weather breaks, if we even have any kind of weather break, but we do have a little bit of a winter and then they'll open right back up. And there's all kinds of stuff to do out here. And all right, well, I may have to borrow some sunscreen from that gentleman over there. All right, he's about like me; doesn't rub it in very well. All right, Kevin is with me today, working remotely. Always good to have him. Kevin Hall. Hi, Kev. Hope you're doing well. And Kevin will be.
I want to see you out on catch a wave. I want to see.
You want to see me catch a wave?
Yeah.
I
think that goes.
I think I'm very capable of that. I don't think, you hate to come out here and show off your first time out, but
Right.
I probably will ease into that. I might do what we call the shred mill, kind of get into that. That seems like kind of a good start for me. Honestly, about the best I'll do today is the lazy river. Looks like a nice little current, and it looks extremely nice and cold. And the thing about it is, unlike those places I was talking about, Wet and Wild and Whitewater, it kind of has a natural look to it. The water or whatever, it kind of goes with.
It is a very long lazy river, so just be prepared that it may take.
Have you been in it? Have you been in it?
Sarah was on my other show last week or earlier this week, so I kind of had some of that info already.
Mr. Big Time, my other show. All right, I've told you never to mention any other shows. This is the only show that occurs. Now let's watch our time here, Kev. We're already almost to 1:30. We will have some Campus Confidential, and then at 2:00, the play-by-play man, TV play-by-play man for the Dallas Cowboys, Bill Jones, is going to join us, and Bill does a really nice job. Kevin, we've got, and let's make sure, by the way, we don't have any breaking news we need to bring to his attention, or he'll bring it to our attention, but I wanted to be aware of everything going on right now. We did get some breaking news before we came on the show today that Jaden Higgins, Houston Texans wide receiver. And Kevin, because Tank Dell's coming back after being out for a couple of years. It's a talented receiving core. This is a former second-round pick who last year had 6 touchdowns and over 500 yards and was expected to take a big jump this year. So certainly a top 3 receiver for the Houston Texans. And Kevin, who is a huge Colts fan, I don't think Kevin's pleased that anytime anybody gets injured, but this may not break his heart. This is a tough day, though, for the Texans because it looks like this injury puts him out for the year. Kevin, another thing I wanted to bring up is a real sad story today. Baylor, about the time I was, Jeff was about 3 years younger than I am, 2 years younger, something like that. About the time I was in my junior or senior year at Baylor, a young quarterback arrived from A&M Consolidated. His name was Jeff Watson. He was one of the more decorated quarterbacks in the history of our great state. He led in 1991. 1991. One of those seasons, he led A&M Consolidated to a state title. That would have been I bet they were class 4A back then. Anyway, they won a state title. And Jeff Watson came on in his freshman year at Baylor. Really strong. Had to step in. I was trying to remember somebody. I'm trying to keep all my quarterbacks straight. Somebody kind of got hurt that season. That was probably going to be the starter. And this again was the JJ Joe had already finished up and graduated. So this would have been about 93 or 94. Jeff Watson, probably 94. He was a Baylor quarterback from 94 to 97. Now, he threw for over 5,000 yards, his 9th all-time in passing for the Bears. But his freshman year, he was so good. Man, I remember him stepping in. Missouri was in the conference. One of those games that Baylor was down 28 to, I think I might have been in law school by then, but Baylor was down 28-0. And they came back and forced overtime, barely lost to Missouri, but that was all Jeff Watson. And he could throw it. Now, Jeff liked, some of the off-the-field things, and Jeff was very open about, some of his struggles, throughout life. And so, again, I don't know. I don't, and maybe there's more details out there today. I just know how incredibly sad it is to lose Jeff Watson at age 50. And that's still, I like to think of that as young since I'm right around there. It is young. It is way, way too young to lose somebody. And again, Jeff had been kind of open about some of the things he had overcome. I think he'd been kind of an inspiration to some folks. I don't know what happened here. I just know the words got out last night that he was he had died, and very, very sad. And he was good, man. To me, he was his early days. He would almost kind of remind you, kind of a combination. Now, he had a better arm than Bucky Richardson at A&M, but he had that tough guy mentality. He could take some hits. I'll tell you who he reminded me of now that I think about it. He's like a young Baker Mayfield. He kind of had that look about him and that personality. And, Baker from time to time got into some hot water off the field. Jeff was a guy who liked to have a good time, and it was probably benefited him that they didn't have phones back then, the cell phones and all that kind of thing. But, man, was he a great quarterback. And I think he could have been better at Baylor. I think he hung in there, though, and kept battling. And but I'm telling you, that freshman year, he had to step in. 94, I think 92 or 93 was JJ's last season. And then whoever was going to step in at that point, later on, it was like Jermaine Alford, but that might have been actually a little bit later. That was like 98, 99. So I was trying to think who Jeff would have stepped in for. But anyway, I just wanted to say that's really, really sad news. And I kind of over the years, I kind of tried to stay in touch with Jeff. I reached out to him. I think I had him on the radio. But just he was a guy that really stepped in and did a nice job for the Bears during kind of a tough time, 94 through 97. I believe it was his senior season, 97, and they would have had Dave Roberts probably as the head coach, and the Bears pulled a big upset over University of Texas in Waco. And I'm pretty sure Jeff Watson would have been the quarterback of that team. So tough situation there, and it's a very sad day losing Jeff Watson, former Baylor great and former Texas A&M Consolidated. I mean, his numbers, if you go back and look at some of those numbers have stood the test of time. He put up huge numbers there. So, again, Jeff Watson dead at age 50. Tough deal. And thoughts today to his coaches around 94, that would have been Grant would have finished up the 93 season. So Chuck Reedy and Grant and that gang would have been recruiting Jeff out of A&M Consolidated. And so we all think about it. Andy McCollum would have been coaching back then. Maybe Coach Fredenberg around there somewhere. But our thoughts and prayers go out to the Watson family and everybody associated with Baylor football and Texas A&M Consolidated. Great player and a good guy. I mean, he had some demons, and he did not always. I don't think he had maturity issues, but he kept battling, and he played all the way through his time at Baylor and had great ability. It is the Mosley Show. A couple of NFL nuggets, and then we'll get to Campus Confidential here in a minute. Kev, I wanted to bring it to your attention, and I think you mentioned this to me as I was making my way into Waco, over here to Waco Surf today. Alvin Kamara sprained MCL. Looks like he's going to be out for a month for the New Orleans Saints. Saints were in Cowboys camp yesterday. Whew, that was not pretty. Just fights all over the place, skirmishes. Azaraku, the young second-year pass rusher for the Cowboys, kicked out of practice, asked to leave. Second time this during training camp, he's been asked to leave practice. Not great. And just too many fights. And it led It led Coach Schottenheimer. Schotty said afterwards, we're not going to take S off anybody. He didn't like the fights, but said a couple of times he reiterated, not taking S off anybody. All right, I don't want to come out here cussing at Waco Surf. All right, don't want to be out here dropping S-bombs, so we're just using the short things for the expletives. All right, that's what we'll do. Now, also, news out of Pittsburgh land, Pittsburgh Steeler land. The Keys, I think Friday, the Pittsburgh Steelers play again. No Aaron Rodgers. This is going to be Will Howard and Drew Aller, and they're going to go the whole way. Mason Rudolph and Aaron Rodgers will remain on the sideline. Will Howard, Drew Aller, they're getting the whole game. I think Howard starts, and then Aller comes in for him. And I saw that news and kind of wanted to pass that along to you. Seattle, by the way, still plans to sign former Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold, but he's also expected to spend time on the commissioner exempt list. Okay. Now, news from earlier today involving the Cowboys, a former Cowboys great. Cowboys two-time Pro Bowl cornerback Trayvon Diggs is signing a one-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks. Wow. All right. So just as we're talking about Terrion Arnold being on the commissioner's exempt list, there's no reason for Diggs to be on the exempt list. Diggs will be able to go in, do his thing, and help fortify a Seahawks defensive backfield that did lose a couple of players.
But hopefully he avoids a at-home concussion, right?
Yeah, the old in-home concussion is a strange one, and certainly heard a lot of rumors of how that thing happened, but we decided not to pass all of those along. But strange way to end the season. And then after one of those games late in the season, he wanted to stay. The coach told him to get on the team plane and head on back with the team. He said no, he stayed. He got cut. He was released by the Dallas Cowboys. This was only a couple of years after being given an enormous deal worth some upwards of $90 to $100 million as the Cowboys starting cornerback. You know why, Kev? Because he had that one season where he had like 13 interceptions. He was setting all kinds of records for the Dallas Cowboys. It was good until it wasn't. And then it ended. All right. And, man, good to have a whole crew out here today. I mean, the Rogue is well represented. It is exciting. And just to see, I tell you, Stephanie, when she gets out here in one of those little tennis outfits, she looks like she's ready to get out there and surf a little bit. Are you going to get in, Stephanie, at all? Are you going to be a part of this? Only Mosley today. Mike, did you bring any gear? Hamilton going in his, what do you got, khakis? Oh gosh. We don't need to scare the whole. That's not what we need. Let's drop that. Mike just threatened to go in his birthday suit out here at Waco Surf. They'd have to close the place down. We'd have people driving off the road out here. All right. And then, New York Giants trading guard Daniel Falalay to the Jacksonville Jags for an undisclosed late round 2027 draft pick. I didn't realize the Giants were so loaded at offensive line that they could be doing that. But right now the Jags are in desperate need of help along their O-line with some of the things they faced in training camp. And so that guard, Daniel Falalay, it's 2 A's and 2 E's and 2 L's in that name. Okay. Love a good Falalay. And we'll get him out there to Jacksonville, see what the young man can do. Kev, let's do something we call Campus Confidential. Let's do that next.
Right in the heart of Waco, there's a place Texas pride meets world-class flavor. The Dancing Bear Pub, open 7 days a week, 4 to 11, and offering happy hour Tuesday through Friday, 4 to 6. Wednesday is trivia night, and Thursdays is $1 off Texas Pints. A great place to meet up with family, friends, or make new friends. Kick back and soak in the laid-back vibe that keeps Waco coming back for more. Located at 1117 Spade Avenue, Dancing Bear Pub in Waco, where great beer and good company come together.
Score big on your next ride during the Kick Off the Savings event at Richard Car. 2027 GMC Sierra trucks are coming, so all 2026 models are marked with game-winning savings at Richer Car. Find savings like $10,000 off a 2026 GMC Sierra SLE truck. Plus, well-qualified buyers get 2.9% financing for 72 months. Find championship savings and win on your next deal at their Kickoff to Savings event at Richer Car.
Richard Car, they have the truck for you.
You asked, we delivered. The new Butterfly IQ3. It's the answer in point-of-care ultrasound. With the sharpest image for easier, clear answers. Ready?
Summer isn't over yet. Make every last splash count at Waco Surf. Catch perfect waves, float the lazy river, or relax on the beach while the kids make unforgettable memories. Stay in their hotel or private cabins, or hook up with your RV. Located just 90 miles from Dallas and Austin, set on 450 acres in the heart of Texas, Waco Surf is unlike any other water park around. Before school starts, give your family one more epic adventure. WacoSurf.com. Book your stay today and catch a wave.
Westfest, presented by West Feeds, this Labor Day weekend. Wade Bowen, live at the Sunday night shutdown party, with special guests, the Hoosier Brothers and Sonny Salceda. Westfest, just 15 minutes north of Waco.
David Willey here. I got a question for you. How do you know what kind of deal you're getting on your copier? If you really want to know, give me a call and I'll be glad to talk to you about it. CTWP, your only local copier company.
Make this the summer event at Allen Samuels in Waco. Drive a 2026 Ram 1500 Limited Crew Cab with your choice. 0% for 36 months or 25% off MSRP. See why it was named to Car and Driver's Best 10 Trucks and SUVs list. And it comes with America's best truck powertrain warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles.
Come by, let's be friends.
At Schmaltz Sandwich Shop, we don't just make sandwiches, we build them with fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and homemade baked bread every single day. Toasty on the outside, goodness on the inside. Schmaltz Sandwich Shop in Waco is locally owned and operated since 1975 with 2 locations in Waco, Town West off Valley Mills and downtown off 5th Street. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or just a craving, we got the perfect bite waiting for you.
It is the Mosley Show. Thank you, Mason. I knew I was back. Mason caught me in the middle of a dance move here. We're just having a good time out at Waco Surf. Mason, I wish you'd explore that bar behind you. I'd like to kind of know what's going on back there, what's offered at this bar. You know, just kind of give me a rundown. Mason went right over there. Is he Mason? I'm not saying I need anything. I just kind of like looking over there. We are going to have Bill Jones, the play-by-play man for Cowboys TV, going to join us coming up at 2:00. All right, but right now it is time for something we like to call, and we are at Waco Surf. I just want to, as if you can't tell by the surfers in the background there. Look out there. Let's see how many are out there now. That's an advanced surfing class, I believe, as we speak. There's a lot of people floating. We need to get some people out there doing some surfing. Ooh, golly, there's about 15 people out there right now in that advanced deal. Water park's over here, open until September 13th. There's accommodations. You can sleep overnight. You can do the shred mill. And that's kind of a good way to learn about the surfing. And then that shred mill and the surfing lagoon stay open till January. The water park, we can shut that down coming up about September 13th. So you've got a few more weeks, got 2.5, 3 more weeks. And then so that's kind of the way it works out here at good old Waco Surf. Good to have Andrea, Mason, Mike, Stephanie. This is well, when we have a fun place like Waco Surf, the whole team comes out, except Kevin. Kevin has remained back at the mothership. Kevin's very focused today. At least it seems like it. Kevin, if we would now. Yeah, good job, buddy. Looking at my time here. All right. let's do some Campus Confidential. What's on your mind, sir?
All right. Well, I'm wondering, Michigan, the basketball, should they be picked to repeat as national champions with all of their returning players continuing to come back and also building through the portal like they did today when they got Kenny Noland from Columbia?
Michigan. And Kev, usually you have those beautiful graphics. And right now, I know
you're imagining Kenny Noland.
Picture of him. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. Soon, though, Kev, I'm gonna be looking at a monitor. But right now, Kevin and I I can just imagine the way Kevin's looking right now. I don't really imagine it. Kev, this young man. Now, here's the thing I got to tell you. And this has nothing to do with Michigan, but just in the context of what's happening with people adding players right now, Kevin, what Texas Tech has done, and again, we got to see how these court cases go and if these guys are able to play and all this kind of stuff. But it is so scary. They went from kind of like probably like a, 5th, 6th, 8th team in the conference, kind of down there, maybe where Baylor might be predicted to be, to borderline second in the conference, maybe behind Arizona, maybe ahead of U of H now, maybe number 1. They may be the best team in the conference. They may be right. I mean, it's crazy to me. But Kevin, with his Big Ten sensibilities, he's leaning toward a Michigan storyline right now. Knowing, Kev, who they have with McKinney, we love that Trey McKinney. God, he's a great player. And knowing that they have a couple more players that they brought in and they were able to keep most of their players. And let's not forget Elliot Cadeau. That's what I was about to say. Yep. Thank you, sir. The point guard who could have ended up at Baylor a couple of years ago or before last season, if Rob Wright hadn't have been such a whatever. Somebody from Kansas trying to call me. All right. I don't think we'll take that one. Kev, I would say Michigan finishes top 5, buddy. That's a top 5 team that Mike Boynton has. And I love Mike, but the real tell on Mike will be what happens in subsequent years. Can he build on what he and Dusty were putting together at Michigan? It's not easy to do. Guy replaced Chris Beard a few years ago and took a team to the Elite 8. About 2 years later, within a year or two, he was gone. They don't give you much time when you're the one sort of inheriting greatness. Now, Mike Boynton helped put it together. He was, I believe, the defensive coach on that Michigan team. So it's not, again, I think the guy can coach. I do. Did he earn this opportunity? No. There's nothing Mike Boynton has done to deserve to be the head coach at Michigan and follow up Dusty May. But I say that and also say I'm rooting for the guy. I wish him well. So, Kevin, my answer to that, your question is that Michigan team, that's top 5 team. That's top 5 team right there. Are they? Do I predict them to win the national title and defend the national title? I do not. Okay.
All right. Well, so close, but not quite.
Yeah, very close.
All right.
Very close. Right. Kevin, I wish I had a surfboard that I could it looks really cool to do one, like when you're buffing the surfboard out.
Yeah.
Wax that thing. I saw somebody doing it earlier. That just looks like something I'd enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I may now that I'm out here and kind of watching how all this works.
You do a little that shred.
If they have a beginner's lesson this afternoon, I'm going to jump in there and take a beginner. You think for a man,
great way to start.
You think a man who broke his neck 6 years ago should be doing that? Stephanie says no.
Lazy River it is.
I don't know what Andrea's saying. She's over there looking at Tech's recruiting class.
Exactly.
Okay. I bet she loved me bragging on Tech. She probably didn't even hear that. Well, Mike, I wish you could see Mike today. He's a man that I kind of thought.
According to your words, I don't know if I want to see him at all if he's going to do surfing like that.
If you don't think though, Kevin, that Mike used to wear Hobie and jams and things like that, he was from that era. Parachute pants. He was in high school in parachute pants, and I guarantee you, he owned a pair of Z Cavaricis. Yep. See, he's confirming that. He's trimming his beard up a little bit. He doesn't quite look. I feel like he's doing a little better on his grooming. Okay. What else do you have? Yeah.
So we don't have the benefit of a screen, so I have to resituate some things because I had some lists for you.
You can walk through it. You can walk me through it, however you want to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I have this exercise that they did yesterday on First Take, and so I want us to go through this exercise with them as I play this video, but you don't need the video to appreciate this. Okay, here we go.
Imagine this. Imagine I tell you that the national champion the year before loses 0 games. Okay? Their head coach, who's 27-2, comes back. They bring in a quarterback to replace the #1 overall pick who played 4 years at TCU, and he had better numbers coming in than the previous guy. And now, let me also tell you, because of a court ruling, they get more defenders back as well. And now, put them in an Alabama uniform. Where are they ranked to start the season?
They're the preseason #1 team.
So this is not about football. It's not about Kurt Signetti. It's not about where Courtney graduated from, which is
Indiana.
It's all about the perception that we still admittedly have that we don't believe that Indiana is a football power.
No.
Now, the one thing you didn't see was Paul Feinbaum was right in the middle, and Paul Feinbaum was asked the question, and all he did was put up a #1. He knew.
He said that Indiana was #1.
Given that scenario that was laid out, he said if you put all of that into an Alabama uniform, yes, they're #1. At the same time, later in the episode, he said that Indiana deserved to be #6, that they were no better than any of the top 5 teams. And their schedule could be a problem, especially late in the season when they have to play 4 of the top 25 out of the last 6 games, I believe. Not to mention they go play at Nebraska, at USC, Ohio State at home, and then at Michigan.
Wow.
So there's 2 sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Are my Hoosiers the real deal? Do they have a chance? Apparently, if you put them in an Alabama uniform, yes. But without it, no.
I mean, here's the point, though, that we've reached. We're acting like we still don't believe in them, and that's maybe that's the case, maybe not. But in almost every poll that's come out, they're at least #6 or better, right? So I don't know, Kev, that I'm not even saying you're doing this, but I think to play the disrespect card for Indiana is a bit of a stretch to me. I think part of why they're ranked top 5, 6, is because of what they've done and the amazing. Now, would they be 2nd or 3rd or 1st if they were Alabama coming off? Well, yeah, probably so, but I don't think that's that huge of a declaration or breaking news because Alabama has the history of Saban behind it. Indiana does not have the 25, with Alabama, of course, you go back to the Bear, and so you got about a century, right? You got about 80 years of history behind you, whereas in Indiana, you have 2 years of history. So it's very natural not to maybe give them as much as perhaps they deserve. All right. But I in Signetti, I trust. I totally, yeah. I believe all
in
about
what the eyebrows.
Doing. Yeah. Is that right? Well, any more before we get ready for Bill to come on? Anything else?
there is the Art Briles story from Brett McMurphy, but we don't have time for all that. I think maybe we should wait until after Bill, and then we can maybe flesh out some of the stuff that was there. And I don't know if we could do this later in this episode or tomorrow, where RG3 had a surprising, maybe not so surprising, comp for himself that he ran through with Joel Klatt and Brady Quinn.
A comp or someone that reminds him of himself, kind of thing?
Exactly.
Okay. I like that. It's good teasing for tomorrow. All right. You're such a tease.
Do my best.
All right, buddy. We do have the play-by-play man for the Dallas Cowboys, anchor for CBS 11, longtime sports anchor, Bill Jones, joins us next.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
It's the 50th annual West Fest presented by West Feeds this Labor Day weekend. Catch the West Fest parade on Saturday, run the Kolache 5K Sunday morning, cheer on the Horseshoe Tournament, or test your strength in the Steinholding Contest. West Fest, just 15 minutes north of Waco.
Score big on your next ride during the Kickoff to Savings event at Richard Car. Score your biggest savings of the year right now on Buick. Get a 3-row 2026 Buick Enclave and save $8,500. Or non-GM owners can save $6,750 on all 2026 Buick Envisions in stock. Get here now or go online and save thousands on Buick at Richard Car. Find championship savings and win on your next deal at their Kickoff to Savings event at Richard Car.
At Richard Car, we give you more.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
Hey, Lee Riley Copier Dog here. Ready for an upgrade on a brand new Kia Sierra copier? Call CTWP. We'll find the perfect fit for your business. Stay local. Call CTWP before you sign. CTWP, your local copier company.
Summer isn't over yet. Make every last splash count at Waco Surf. Catch perfect waves, float the lazy river, or relax on the beach while the kids make unforgettable memories. Stay in their hotel or private cabins, or hook up with your RV. Located just 90 miles from Dallas and Austin, set on 450 acres in the heart of Texas. Waco Surf is unlike any other water park around. Before school starts, give your family one more epic adventure. WacoSurf.com. Book your stay today and catch a wave.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Never deposit someone else's money into your bank account. Scammers will send you money or overpay you and then ask you to refund a portion of the money back to them. This is a scam.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco. One of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
It is the Mosley Show. Oh, man. Now I get to see this view that everybody else has had. Kind of a shadowy Mosley with a beautiful surfing lagoon in the background. There's Kevin.
Oh,
Kevin.
You didn't mean
I kind
me?
of preferred the other.
Oh, you didn't mean me. Oh, my bad. You want me to put a bikini on? Would that help?
Let's
No?
please,
No?
let's not overdo this. Good to have you, Kev. We're waiting in the green room right now. Hopefully Bill Jones will be arriving at any minute, and play-by-play man for the Dallas Cowboys. He would love Waco Surf. I mean, the surfboards are out. Let me look back here, see what's going on. We got kind of an advanced lesson that was going on a little earlier. I wanted to see if somebody. Oh, look, somebody's up. Not bad. It kind of wiped out pretty quickly there. I think but it was a strong start. Am I going to try it later today? Likely not. But the lazy river, I will try. And we're awaiting Bill Jones' appearance. Kev, you let me know. When we. Good. All right. There he is. He stepped into the green room. We had some snacks for him. And now he can come on to the Mosley Show.
I was a little confused because he put his name as Barry Switzer. I don't know.
We've had Coach Switzer on a few times. Bill Jones joining the Mosley Show right now. Oh man, I love that, Coach Switzer.
How you like my trophy case behind me? You probably can't see it since you're on location.
No, I can see you. In fact, I have lobbied hard because I wanted to be able to see you. Hopefully you can see me, Bill, and you can see Waco Surf, one of the great water parks. People come from all over. People even come from South Lake. You'd say, well, Matt, they probably have a nice water park near South Lake, but they don't have this surfing lagoon.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Bill, have you ever been tempted out there in California, there in Ventura, when we're out there for training camp at Oxnard, California, to maybe grab a surfboard and go surfing safari? And have you surfed at some point? I mean, you're an athletic guy. I don't know. You're a very tall man. I don't know if tall people are great surfers. I'm sure there have been some tall surfers. Have you ever given it a go, sir?
I have not. Surfing is not something that is on my want to list either.
You're not.
Especially I think that ocean water is probably cold.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking that that's not something for me. I saw the Sam Gannon cold plunge out there, and I don't want to participate in that.
Yeah. I mean, Mike seemed all too willing to be out there videoing.
Yes.
Some of those early mornings, I don't know exactly what that was about, but that was good to see some morning plunges there. I don't think we ever saw Mike skiv off, did we? And jump in the waters there.
I don't recall seeing that. No.
Yeah. And as a local competitor, we won't say the name of that particular show. That's right.
That's right.
We cannot reveal that to anybody. Although the secret is that we're all actually pretty good friends, but we don't, publicly we don't really acknowledge that. Bill, you're getting ready for Cardinals game Saturday. Yesterday in camp, Saints come for that joint practice. And Bill, you've seen all the I mean, that kind of got ugly. You and I have been out there, the Rams joint practice a couple of years ago. I remember one in particular, Orlando Scandrick was kind of in the middle of it. He was angry. There were some fights. I think Dez used to kind of get in some stuff. But, Bill, we've seen some of this over the years that even by our standards that we kind of know these things happen, not that big of a deal. But that seemed a little ugly yesterday with Kellen bringing the New Orleans Saints. You think that's just a kind of like, we've been in camp a little too long. We're a little sick of all this. What was because Ezaraku now has been kicked out of practice a couple of times. What did you read into that?
Yeah, and as a rocker, remember, I don't know if you watched the last regular season game last year too. Not very many people did, but he got kicked out of that game too, coming to the defense of a teammate and tearing the helmet off a Giants player. I don't know what's gotten into this as a rocker. This Boston College, I didn't know Boston College produced those kinds of players, but he's got a mean streak about him. I think that some of it might be players that are just trying to show that they are so competitive. We're at this point in camp where they want to make sure the coaches know that they think it's a good thing to the coaches that, okay, look how much fire I have. I'll fight. And they're trying to win a roster spot that way. But I'm not sure that it goes over. It certainly didn't go over well with Schottenheimer. He's not a fan of it.
Although he did say a few times, Bill, we're not going to take S off anybody. And even though we're on the YouTube, in the YouTube world, I can probably say it now. You know, Bill, my Baptist sensibilities do not allow me to come out there with those expletives. But I mean, it's interesting because you're right. I don't think overall he thinks there's probably way too much nonsense that happened. But he also wanted to send a signal, we're not going to take anything off anybody. So he might not love the fights, but I think he doesn't mind occasionally just saying we're not going to put up with other people doing weird stuff to us.
Yeah, sticking up for your teammates and stuff. Yeah. In fact, Jalen Thompson, a member of the Leadership Council, I saw he came in. This was a video I saw today. It might have been a Saints photographer. I'm not sure who shot it, but it was the one Kalen Carson grabbed number 89 by the face mask and was pulling him around the field, and then everyone else jumps in. And then Jalen Thompson, veteran safety, he form tackled number 89, and away they went. And so I would think that Shotty liked that. When the Leadership Council guy gets involved, he's okay with it. But when a rookie or second-year player instigates it, or Sam Williams instigates it, he's not a fan of it.
Yeah. It could go either way. You're right. And some of these guys, Bill, are on the bubble, the proverbial bubble. You mentioned one of them, Sam Williams. The other night, you were calling this game. Always love watching you on those preseason games. You know, Houston, who's kind of been a journeyman, been around a little bit. It does seem like when the lights come on sometimes, he puts up, he certainly made some plays, but with Von Miller, and we'll talk a little bit more about Von Miller, but it's kind of like when it's fun to bring in a new player, but in a sense, he's going to make it unless he's just not in shape or something. But with his contract in his past, he's going to make this roster, right? So it just became even a little bit harder for some of those guys that are fighting for those last roster spots. As we get closer to cut down day, Bill, what are those positions where you're zeroing in the most? Like when you're watching this game coming up, whether it be wide receiver, edge rusher, where do you find yourself gravitating and saying, man, this is, in my mind, the biggest battle going on right now?
Well, edge rusher was the first thing that popped to mind because of what you have now at that edge rusher position. With when I look at it, you've got now Miller is going to be a rotational guy, a closer, basically, 15, 20 snaps on average. So you got Rashawn Gary and you got Donovan Ezaraku, who penciled in as the starters. You got Malachi Lawrence and you got Von Miller. And then you got the aforementioned James Houston and Sam Williams would be slotted in as your third teamers there. But then you also have Maris Leofau, who's also playing out there on the edge too. So it's going to be very interesting. They've got some guys there that you look around the league, and in particular, like a team like Atlanta, that just signs Darius Smith yesterday and has lost a couple of edge rushers. They could be interested in giving you a 7th round pick for one of those guys. And but so that's a position. Wide receiver, now that Camden Brown has become a preseason superstar in this league.
Yeah.
By virtue of his 2 touchdown performance the other day. Has he solidified the 5th wide receiver spot? I think actually Jonathan Mingo, as much as people have been on Jerry more than anyone else for the acquisition of Jonathan Mingo and giving up a 4th round draft pick for him a couple of years ago, Mingo's had a good camp and he's shown that he'll do the dirty work and was, made the special teams play the other day where he ran the return guy down from the other side of the field, showed some speed there. But I think even in camp as a receiver, he's done some things. Running back is another position. Who's going to be the backup to Javonte Williams, which could be a very important position because of Javonte's injury history prior to last season. And now those guys seem banged up some. Jaden Blue wasn't practicing yesterday. Phil Maffa's got a rib injury. And Malik Davis showed in the second half of the game the other night, the same stuff that he showed us last year. So those are positions that I kind of look at. Cornerback, I think you're looking at Bland and Kobe Durant and Savone Revel, your top 3 corners, with Caleb occupying the slot corner position and safety.
Yeah.
So the battle for those other spots behind him, Kalen Carson with his 3 penalties the other night did not help his cause.
No. I thought he might get cut on that first series. It was not good. And that was a rough start. I was, of course, being wise on Twitter and saying, well, at least it took a little while for them to score on that first series. And I'm thinking, oh, God, this is not great for the beginning of the Christian Parker era. And then they just never really did much the rest of the game, right? And then the goal line stands. So I think once they kind of figure some things out there and maybe got Carson off the field, there were some good things that were happening. And isn't it interesting, Bill, in the preseason, we're looking at a lot of rookies and we're interested in all of them, right? But then somebody will jog our memory, right? It's like, oh, Reddy Stewart. Well, we thought of him in a year where it was just horrible, right? They're giving up all the points and yards. And I can remember him thinking, well, that guy does okay. He does some okay things. And then what'll happen is the next year, some of those guys will get better and use the OTAs. And if you're like me, you're kind of like, oh, he's still hanging around. Okay. So there are some guys like that. Who, by the way, who are your favorite preseason all-stars over the years, like your favorite stories? The one from the other night, that could obviously recency bias, but that was amazing. The contested catch, then the one-handed catch, and he went from kind of, okay, this guy's interesting, or he might be on the edge, to like in the past we looked at that Trayshawn, right? Like, oh, that guy's kind of interesting from Oregon, and then because of his muff and because of the muff punt, and then because of Camden Brown, they're like, okay, Trayshawn, you're gone. Right, his story has ended with the Cowboys, and Camden Brown just explodes. Is there anybody? I think of you because there was a local lad years ago, Lance Dunbar. You remember that? He kind of the North Texas kid, kind of. But who are your favorite over the years? Just preseason game breakout stars.
Boy, that's a tough question. The one that immediately popped to mind, you remember Jeremy Urban? The first name was spelled Jeremy, Jereme, Urban, Urban. I think he may actually be the head coach at Trinity University in San Antonio, or was at one point. But he had it was the last preseason game at Minnesota. I believe, I may be wrong on this, but I believe he had an 80-yard punt return for a touchdown. And so we were raving about Jeremy Urban is going to make this team based on that punt return right there. And I think he might have been on the practice squad maybe for half a season. and then he took the Trinity University head coaching job. But it's plays like that. I'm sure Miles Austin back in the day really, and Sam Hurd, I know, flashed big time in the preseason. I'm trying to think of other guys. And of course, Dunbar, he was already on our radar because he was a local kid. And he played 4 years or so with the team as a backup running back. So he didn't come out of nowhere like Camden Brown did the other night. I mean, Camden Brown was at Auburn for 3 years and didn't do much there. And they had so many coaching changes there and quarterback changes there. And then he goes to Georgia Southern, a team known for running the football through the years, Division II, now a Division I program, I guess. And he had 14 touchdowns in 13 games last year. But we saw it, and he was kind of like, after the first 2 weeks of training camp, the breakout star on offense already. But he took it to the game also. And so that was what was impressive about it.
Also, for my massive Baylor audience, Bill, the Michael Trigg, he had one that he probably should have caught, and there early, and then kind of made 3 catches or whatever, and one I think was kind of contested, a pretty nice catch. Some of them were more workmanlike. He's going to be one of those guys they're really going to have to be patient with if they decide to be patient with him. Have you seen enough from him in camp, and then maybe hopefully what he did the other night confirms a little bit of what they've seen to at least say he gets an opportunity to go on as a practice squad type guy? Where is he in this?
Well, I think for sure he is going to be at least a practice squad guy, which obviously makes him susceptible to getting picked up by other teams. The thing about the tight end position, there's been a revival of that position around the league in the last several years, and even more so now, where, tight end is a position where if you can just stay healthy, you can fashion, and it may not be a high dollar career, but you can have a lengthy 8 to 10 year career in this league just because they're using 3 or 4 tight ends on game day rosters, basically, because it provides options for them as far as their 12 personnel and all that stuff. And so you look at the Cowboys situation at tight end, where obviously Jake Ferguson and then Brevin Spanford has emerged as the clear number 2. Schoonmaker now is in his last year of his contract. So they could look at it if they see enough from Trigg with, entering his first of what would be 4 years under his first contract in the league, they could go that route, but he's got to show enough in the run game and his blocking, because that's kind of what Schoonmaker has always been and is now. I don't think Schoonmaker's position on the team is in jeopardy, but Trigg is a viable option for him there, and he could be a guy that they put on the practice squad, and because of his past at USC and then at Ole Miss, there's a checkered past there.
Yeah, I'd say. Although he did kind of become more mature at Baylor. I was at his pro day, and whoever let him do the vertical jump should be fired. Like any agent who allowed him, he was either out of condition or hurt. He told me he was hurt, and he jumped about. This is an unbelievably athletic guy who makes incredible catches and had a great season at Baylor, and literally jumped, Bill, what you and I would have jumped in high school. I bet you were a leaper, but about a Mosley-esque type vertical. What
was your vertical, Matt? Do you recall?
I think probably I peaked at like a 25 or 26. Yeah. I don't think it was anything amazing. Maybe if I had a summer of those platform shoes you could wear to get your vertical up, You used to have those heavy shoes you could go around in. I think I really could have gotten up there around 28 or 29. Did you have around a 30?
I would imagine I was probably south of 30 myself. Would you like to see a picture of me from high school?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Just a second.
What roster? I'd like to know which.
I just happen in my trophy case behind me here. I happen to have a picture of me from high school. This is me at Irving MacArthur.
Oh my goodness!
There you go. Looking like Larry Bird shooting.
Is that you shooting? That's nice.
Yeah. You know what? This photograph actually is very special to me because my late mother and father are up in the stands watching me in the background right there.
Oh man.
They were at every game. And anyway, before a tear comes to my eye, I just wanted to put that
okay,
out.
man. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. And that looks good. That the way that shot, I mean, that looks like a D1 type shot there. that shot reminds me of one of my childhood heroes. My dad wanted me to have a haircut like this man. He was at Highland Park, and then he starred at SMU. David Peeler. And
David Peeler.
To this day, continues on as the head coach at Highland Park.
Yep. By the way, you know Tom Turbyville?
I do know that name.
He's from he's covered A&M for years.
Oh yeah.
And he was actually, back when I was in high school, he was the sports reporter for the Irving Daily News, and he used to write articles about our games, whatever. Turby Talk. He had a column called Turby Talk. Thought that might be pertinent for some of your listeners and viewers there in Central Texas.
Down in the Brazos Valley, of course.
Yeah.
They're familiar with Turby Talk. I'd like to go back and look at some of those, see if he had some good lines about you, see if maybe you had a nickname.
Bones Jones, I think, was the popular nickname then.
Bones Jones. That's good. Wow. Those Irving schools, sadly, are not what they used to be. And Phil Bennett's brother was coaching out there at one point, and Mike, what was his name? Farda or something like that.
Mike Farda. Yeah, he was at Nimitz. Yeah.
Big time coach.
Mike Kunstadt was the head basketball. Yeah, Mike Kunstadt was the head basketball coach at Irving. They had a really good team my senior year. And Kunstadt became the Gil Brandt of basketball recruiting in college basketball. And, of course, the Great American Shootout and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, sadly, in recent years, those have become 3 easy wins for my Lake Highland. But now, Bill, we're in a district with the Plano schools, Coppell. This is time to strap it on. Yeah, this is the real deal with Pierce.
Although the Plano schools aren't what they used to be in the days of Rex Burkhead and prior to that.
Yeah, don't make me go get Gerald Brantz out to remind you of that greatness. Old Tommy Kimbrough. Wow, those were the days. Remember Steve Needham?
Oh yeah.
Plano, back number 27.
Yeah, they had quarterbacks with numbers in the 20s. Yeah.
Now they only do that at like BYU. I think Bear, what's his name, is number 47. Okay. Yeah. By the way, have you studied the Cardinals? I mean, you got to do a lot of prep and you got to be ready. Do we have any Metroplex kids or good Texas high school kids on this Cardinals roster? Have you looked at that yet?
Oh, I've looked at it, and I don't have my flip card with me right now.
We'll wait.
Off the top of my head, I'm sure if there is one on the roster, we will certainly point it out. We'll make every effort to point it out during the game.
Okay. I'm trying to think if if Baylor sent anybody to the Cardinals.
You want me to go get my flip card?
No. You're good. I would like to see more of those pictures. I'd like to have a little bit look at some of those trophies. Make sure those aren't like grandkids' trophies. Those are
those are my Irving YMCA trophies.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are those things? I thought maybe soapbox derby or those things we used to do. Back in the day, I bet you built one of those. Last thing I had for you is when you're one of the, you've seen all of this, the great times, the years in the wilderness with the Cowboys. When you see Dak show up with the Super Bowl 30 T-shirt, and you hear some of the talk. Oh man, this year Dak's actually just going to name it. Are you amused by it, just having known how long it's been, and or was there any part of you like, oh, this is kind of cool? I guess from a newsman standpoint, it gives you another angle, kind of a fun angle to start camp. So I get that part of it. But from a guy who's seen the highest of highs with Aikman and the triplets to the 30 years without an NFC title game, how do you roll your eyes at this, or is there any part of you like, oh, this is kind of cool and maybe I kind of believe in this?
I would be in the former category, the rolling my eyes at it more so. I'm humored by it more so than I'm thinking that it's actually motivating any players, whatever.
Okay.
And I think in some ways, Dak might actually roll his eyes at it a little bit, that it becomes a thing. I think he literally, as he talked about at his press conference, he saw it in his closet and said, I think maybe I'll wear this today. And because it had been given to him. And now him having the master's in leadership from Mississippi State, he's taken it to another level. And even with the Gotti greatest offense there is, I don't know that was supposed to actually get out public. Tyler Guyton kind of just let it slip, and so he had to go ahead and run with it.
You think behind closed doors they probably were like, Tyler, what in the world? Can we just, is anything sacred in here?
That's right.
Do we feel okay about him right now, by the way? Did you get some eyes on Guyton to make you
did you see the backup?
You talking about the revolving door over there? Yeah.
I think we figured out why the third day of camp Schottenheimer was giving the left tackle job to Guyton.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Although, I think you are be the last person with Guyton's OU connections, right? You will be the last person to give up on him. The OU kids, you give a little more grace to, although as you found with Baylor faithful covering them on a regular basis, you probably have some ardent Baylor fans who are also the biggest critics of some of the players on the Baylor team, wouldn't you say? Yeah, mainly the head coach, but okay. Yeah, the players, the players too. I saw your Sooners ranked at like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Top 25. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing when you consider who they're trotting out at quarterback.
Oh my gosh. You don't think you can attribute last year to the injury a little bit, don't you think?
We'll see.
Okay. You're playing what you're talking about. You have too much inside knowledge. You watch this team too much.
Right.
Yeah.
I just made a case for what I was just talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. He is Bill Jones, and you'll see him Saturday night. Bill, that's a late one for us locally. 9 p.m. start. It won't be quite as late for you out there, but always good to see. I noticed you have a new site. Yarish was releasing the news that Yarish, that he'll be down on the sideline, so it'll be kind of fun. Get some other people in the pipeline there, but that'll be good, man. We will be watching, and you do a great job on those, and so I will look forward to it, man. I appreciate you taking the time today.
All right. Appreciate it, Matt. And you can, if you can't stay up all the way to the end, you can obviously record it, but also
thank you.
There is a replay on TXA 21, I believe, Sunday night at 7:00 in prime time.
That's right. And that reminds me to remind everybody that KTVT channel 11, CBS 11, we like to call it. CBS Sports Texas, I noticed, is kind of what we're going with on Twitter and other places. But that is where you continue to be the lead anchor. and do a great job over there. So we always enjoy watching you. Keep up the good work. The youthful Bill Jones joining
Appreciate it, Matt.
You bet. Great to have you. We'll be watching you on Saturday night. Appreciate it, Bill.
Thanks, Matt.
There he goes, Bill Jones, joining us right here on the Mosley Show as we come to you from Waco Surf. 90 minutes from Dallas and Austin, 450 acres in the heart of Central Texas. Unlike any other water park, you just stay and play. Now, again, you got the standing wave, pool, you got the beach, the water park, lazy river, and the endless outdoor activities. And I will be floating the lazy river. I'm going to be a man of my word. In fact, I got to find, my swimsuit's around here somewhere, and we'll be out there. And it looks so refreshing. I wonder what the temperature is out today here. I would imagine if I looked at my weather bug right now, it'd probably be about 102. But the cool thing about this spot,
what we call sizzling. Sizzling
Yeah.
is the temperature. Yeah.
Kev, you can, as you come out here, you go underneath this canopy of trees, and they still have a lot of beautiful forest and trees out here surrounding this property. And then if you're at the lagoon, they have the beach chairs, but they also have these little cabanas. And then on the far end over there, I see the kind of the swim up dive bar.
All right.
And I don't imagine you want to stop by there before you start hitting the waves, before you surf, but maybe afterwards, maybe like a post-game deal. But one thing I have to find out is where I enter the lazy river.
And where your swimsuit is. Otherwise, you'll be going all Mike Hamilton.
Yeah, we do not. What Mike offered to do earlier has had a lot of folks are scrambling around here to make sure. Yeah. Oh, goodness. We have animals. We've got animals on screen. Andrea, feel free to who do you have here?
Here you go. This is Cash.
Is that yours?
No, this is
Who's?
office dog.
Wait, I know, but I don't know if he wants that. Okay, because I have a dachshund, by the way. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. You're fine. Good. Oh, man. Oh, do you want that ball? Do you want that ball? This is Cash?
Cash, yep.
Okay. All right. That's nice. Oh, Cash. Yeah. My dachshund is Scout. I got a long-haired dachshund at the house. You want that ball? Here. Oh, sorry. I don't want to release him on the up here on the table here. Okay. Andrea, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks. Okay, good. Yeah, it's a good-looking pup. I wonder how old Cash is. Got a little bit of gray there. Yeah, that's a nice dog there. I love a good dachshund. Grew up with them. Had Rudy, Augie, Bascom, Dinah, and now we have Scout. Those are all my dachshunds over the years. We won't talk about some of the fates they met. It wasn't always good endings for those dachshunds, but very precious dogs. All right, Mosley Show continues. We do have some breaking news around the NFL, and then the latest from Baylor Fall Camp. We'll do that next.
At Schmaltz Sandwich Shop, we don't just make sandwiches, we build them with fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and homemade baked bread every single day. Toasty on the outside, goodness on the inside. Schmaltz Sandwich Shop in Waco is locally owned and operated since 1975 with 2 locations in Waco, Town West off Valley Mills and downtown off 5th Street. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or just a craving, we got the perfect bite waiting for you.
You asked, we delivered. The new Butterfly iQ3. It's the answer in point-of-care ultrasound. With the sharpest image for easier, clear answers. Ready?
The selection here at Allen Samuels is great. They have a wide selection of vehicles. They go anywhere from a car to an SUV to a truck. I'm more of a car person myself. That's why I got the Chrysler 300 last. But my wife is looking for an SUV, which they have a lot of choices at. Anybody that's looking for a vehicle, I would recommend Allen Samuels.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Have you heard the latest about CTWP? Let me tell you. How about 2 cents for a color copy? Only Kia Sierra offers. Don't believe me? Do you really copy your dog? Grab your paperwork and let's compare. I guarantee CTWP has the best prices and service.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
Westfest, presented by West Feeds this Labor Day weekend. Ramby Rogers Band, live at the Saturday Night Showcase. With special guests, Brave Cumabo and the Dreadnoughts. Westfest, just 15 minutes north of Waco.
Summer isn't over yet. Make every last splash count at Waco Surf. Catch perfect waves, float the lazy river, or relax on the beach while the kids make unforgettable memories. Stay in their hotel or private cabins, or hook up with your RV. Located just 90 miles from Dallas and Austin, set on 450 acres in the heart of Texas, Waco Surf is unlike any other water park around. Before school starts, give your family one more epic adventure. WacoSurf.com. Book your stay today and catch a wave.
Right in the heart of Waco, there's a place Texas pride meets world-class flavor. The Dancing Bear Pub, open 7 days a week, 4 to 11, and offering happy hour Tuesday through Friday, 4 to 6. Wednesday is trivia night, and Thursdays is $1 off Texas Pints. A great place to meet up with family, friends, or make new friends. Kick back and soak in the laid-back vibe that keeps Waco coming back for more. Located at 1117 Spade Avenue, Dancing Bear Pub in Waco, where great beer and good company come together. It's the premier charity event of the year, the
Score big on your next ride during the Kickoff the Savings event at Richard Car. 2027 GMC Sierra trucks are coming, so all 2026 models are marked with game-winning savings at Richard Car. Find savings like $10,000 off a 2026 GMC Sierra SLE truck. Plus, well-qualified buyers get 2.9% financing for 72 months. Find championship savings and win on your next deal at their Kickoff the Savings event at Richard Car.
Richard Car, they have the truck for you.
Is Matt Mosley, and what a day it's been out at Waco Surf, and we have enjoyed our time out here. It is you can still come out to the water park. Of course, the weekends are going to be big with everybody back in school. You can still come out here, get kind of a last minute back to school type outing. You could also find out more information on wacosurf.com, but this is a really cool, it's really turned into a resort. You got hotel, you got cabins out here, and the water park will be open till September 13th. And then the shred mill, where you kind of start to more like wakeboarding, it's a really cool thing. And the surfing lagoon are going to stay open all the way till January. Okay, so you come out, take some surf lessons, do whatever you need to do. That's all available to you. And I got buddies live up in Dallas. They make the trip quite a bit because they are loving it. And I think it's become, I used to say it was a hidden gem. It's not really hidden anymore. People know their way out to Waco Surf. And in fact, I will know my way around soon. I'm about 10 minutes from now, I'll be in the lazy river. All right. If y'all want to finish up the show, go ahead. But I'll be right in the middle of that lazy river having a big time. Now, earlier today, story hits, and it was really about Art Briles. And we had Art when he went to Division II, Portales, New Mexico. We had him on. We were the first people to get him on our show, and we had a really good interview. It's always tough because some people are going to be mad that I had him on. Some people are going to think I shouldn't ask him this or should ask him this. And I asked the pertinent questions, but we had a good visit with him as he returns to coaching at age 70. I believe he has turned 70 years old. Art's doing better. He had a health scare, and I believe was fighting cancer just about a year or two ago, but is doing really well. And as far as I know, is in remission, and again, doing really well. And I get it. Anytime you bring up Art Briles, on my Baylor audience, I would say maybe a majority of the Baylor audience is just, we love Art, still love him, wish he were back, all that kind of stuff. I get it. Then I know there's also an audience out there that's like, why would you even spend any time talking about him, the controversy, all that happened, why he was fired, the scandal. I get it. I kind of understand and respect both sides of that. And believe me, I was bewildered and betwixt and between on all of it because it was a horrible thing that happened. Yet I was friends with Art and I remain friends with Art. So that's a tough situation to navigate. Now, why is Art Briles in the news? Well, interesting story today that I can probably try to help you shed some light on. Brett McMurphy from On3 reported that Art Briles, and this was part of a wider story on him back in college football at Eastern New Mexico in Portales, New Mexico. But this is the big nugget that came out of that. Former Baylor coach Art Briles told On3 that he decided to accept a 6-year deal to replace Mac Brown at Texas in 2014, but changed his mind after the Bears lost to UCF in the Fiesta Bowl. It's not totally the way I remember it. I kind of always thought that Texas screwed it up a little bit and we're trying to get Art to interview, and Art's like, well, I'm not interviewing. Was Art entertaining the idea? Absolutely he was. Was I at that Fiesta Bowl? Yes, I was. I was at this little thing they did, this rally, where Ken Starr, Judge Starr, no longer with us. Judge Starr was the president of Baylor at the time, and he was up on stage basically saying, buy Art's book. They'd written a book about Art, and he was basically in a weird sort of way, kind of begging Art Briles to stay at Baylor. What would have happened if Art Briles had have been hired by the University of Texas? Well, who knows? I mean, they hired Charlie Strong. That was a disaster. Then they hired Tom Herman. That was a disaster. They were in the wilderness from, 2013 all the way until Sark got there at about 2022 or 23. So it was a mess at the University of Texas. Charlie Strong, turned out to be a horrible hire. Tom Herman turned out to be a horrible hire. What would Briles have done at UT? Well, I mean, he took Baylor from Baylor had completely bottomed out in the years after Grant Taft had his very nice 20-year run or so. And they were in the wilderness from about 1990, from the time Dave Roberts arrived until Art got there in about 2007, 2008. Took Art a couple of years to get it rolling, but once he had it rolling big time. And then RG3 wins the Heisman. All right. What would Art have done at University of Texas? Well, I think he would have been great. I don't think Art would have gotten to Texas and thought, oh, my gosh, I've got to change, or, oh, I'm going to change my offense, or, oh, I don't know if this will work at the University of Texas. He was say what you want about what happened with the Baylor scandal, and I get it, okay? Not even going to revisit that right now. It was awful. There were firings. I'm not going to try to defend anything that was happening back then. It was awful, all right? But the one thing you cannot say is that Art wasn't an incredible college football coach, and in terms of what they accomplished on the field, and I would have had to have guessed that at UT in the post-Mac Brown world, Art would have done an excellent job, and Texas would have gone back to being a powerhouse in the conference. Baylor, Art would have taken Kendall with him and his entire staff to UT. Who in the world knows what would have happened? He chose to stay at Baylor. Baylor was unbelievable in 2014, fifth in the country. 2015, they could have even been better. And then Seth Russell got hurt, and that year ended with a win. But because of the injuries at quarterback to both Seth and then, of course, subsequently Jarrett Stidham, Baylor was down to its third-string quarterback, and that undermined that season. Eventually, by 2016 season, Art had been fired, and the whole thing was falling apart. All right, so very interesting story, though. I think there is some truth to Art having very seriously considered University of Texas, but they lost to – now, here's what I don't totally agree with on this. Maybe he had decided personally he was going to go after that game to Texas. I don't think he had told Texas that, and I don't think he had accepted that job. That was the way that thing was represented on that On3 headline I saw earlier today. Now, McMurphy couches it a little bit differently from 6 hours ago. It says that Art Briles told On3 he had decided to accept the 6-year deal to replace Mack Brown. That means he had not told anybody at Baylor. When they lose that game out there, and I think everybody felt horrible about that loss, including Art, because everybody's mind and brain, including the players, was thinking about Art leaving, and Blake Bortles and UCF put it on the Bears. All right, and it was a rough loss. So the tweet that I had, Kevin, I don't always want to be reading my own tweets, but this one has gathered some steam this afternoon, Kevin. To this story, I just put the tweet: the Charlie Strong era is Blake Bortles' fault. All right, Kevin, people seem to like that one. All right, that's getting a good run out there. Boy, it's almost time, Kevin, for surf snacks. It's almost time for me to swim out to the Surfside Bar, the dive bar. And I don't know, do I swim out past I don't know exactly how I'm going to reach that. Do I swim past the surfers, or do I have a walking path there? I'm going to see. I want to check out the whole experience out here at Waco Surf, and we've had a big time. Now, Kevin, I don't know if you were you saving the RG3 thing for tomorrow's Campus Confidential, or would you rather, or could we put that there right now? What's your preference?
We can do it now. That's fine.
Okay. I like some of this Baylor football today. Childhood cancer awareness. That September 19th game coming up. There's some really neat things going out there at Baylor today. Kevin, why don't you real quick introduce us to what did RG3 say that grabbed everybody's attention, since we're on sort of an Art Briles RG3 type kick.
Right.
What did RG3 do we have this video?
Yes. So this is Joel Klatt and Brady Quinn and RG3, who are going to be doing Fox's Big Noon together in their conversation, as they each kind of took a stab at making a modern day comp of RG.
In college football, remind you of you. Mine is, and this is not a knock, and I think that you're an excellent player, Rocco Becht.
I like Rocco Becht as a player. He's got moxie.
The first one that comes to mind, he's not your size, but I see a lot of like the dual threat ability, Damon Williams Jr.
Okay. The best comp for me this year would be DJ Lagway. I didn't even mention Bryce, and he didn't come into my head because he hasn't shown that he's going to be that dynamic. I think DJ has the arm talent. Bryce probably has more of my skill set from a height and body type.
Ooh. Wow. The former Baylor Heisman winner, brings up, that's a good one, Kev. Ooh, that's a good place to end today. Says the best comparison to himself. It's a weird thing to ask him to do. Who reminds you the most of yourself? All right. DJ Lagway. Now, DJ's built like oh my gosh. Baylor has never had a quarterback built like DJ. The closest was Gary Bohannon. Gary was about 6'3", 215, 220. DJ's all of that. I mean, he is a truck. I do think he runs better. He and Gary could both run. Gary was pretty good. But DJ has more arm talent and is a better all-around quarterback. Now, the thing that made RG3 incredible, in addition to working with Art Briles and Kendall, was his accuracy, the fact that he did not throw interceptions. We need to see those things from DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway's arm talent may be close to RG3's. He is at this point not even close to as accurate. Could he be as effective of a runner as RG3? The answer is yes, surprisingly. RG3 was a guy who never learned to slide, screwed around over there by the sideline too much, and would get crushed and put himself in harm's way too often. I think DJ's going to do a little bit better job of that. Again, they are not built alike. They do have some traits that are alike. It was a little worrisome to hear at the start of fall practice that some people who watched practice, the first part of practice at least, where DJ was not spinning it real well and was kind of throwing some ducks and that kind of thing. Let's hope that was just early in fall camp. I love the fact that out here at Waco Surf, you'll just see surfboards coming behind me, people walking behind. It's just almost like we paid them to do it. Look at that. Look at that. Kevin, this is good. This is what we might do every day from here on out, where I'll just be in the shadows. All right. You just see all the interesting things behind me. Hello, ma'am. She just gave us a peace sign as she walked by. She's been out there surfing. She's been part of that advanced lesson. We're very appreciative, by the way, the great hospitality shown out here at Waco Surf. Sarah Wiseman, marketing director, stopped by earlier and gave us the rundown. 13 hotel rooms out here, also some cabins. You can sleep as many as 14 people in some of these cabins out here. In fact, I may get a cabin this evening, depending on what I do this afternoon. If I have too good of a time there in the lazy river, may just get myself a cabin out here. There's not much chance of me having too good of a time, but I am going to jump in that lazy river just because it looks extremely refreshing. And though neighbor Ted's pool, back in my little neighborhood there in Lake Highlands, is a refreshing pool. It's been a little soupy lately, been a little bit lukewarm, I would say. This water, I think we're looking at probably about 78 degrees. 78 to 80 degrees, which is just about perfect on a day where it's about 103. All right. Now I got to make sure, I don't want to get stuck in the lazy river. I want to make sure that current really kind of gets me going. And I think that'll be good. And then I don't know if they'll allow me, probably can't have food and drink in there. I kind of thought about maybe getting a drink, like an iced tea, and then maybe like a hamburger or something, and then just kind of floating around in the river. I don't know if that's allowed. I'm just going to behave like I would behave if I were in New Braunfels. Wait, where did I go to? Or is it San Marcos? Where do I go to get in the river, the Guadalupe? Is that San Marcos? They used to have something called Schlitterbahn. Remember that? All right. Stephanie is she's very, I don't know what she's working on over there. She's been very dedicated today. Doing some spreadsheets. I'm sure there's some good stuff. Okay, Kev, we always mention at the end of the show, the Brazos Landing. Whew, after I do the lazy river, I'll stop by the Brazos Landing, maybe grab a little bang bang shrimp, something, just a nice appetizer, see what's happening out there on that alligator deck, swamp deck, some call it. Beautiful deck out there. And then, of course, the views of the Brazos, the wind coming in, just a gentle breeze coming in off the Brazos River. Kevin, let's make sure while you're still with me here, we don't have anything from Shefty or anything that needs to be addressed. We had, what did I tell you? I had a little Cowboys news earlier today. Man, that was nice to have Bill Jones on before he calls the game on Saturday night. Saturday night. That's 9:00 start local time as the Cowboys and the Cardinals get it on. Nothing too Colts officially make it official with Keenan Allen. I mean, we had that because we have our resident Colts fan, the excitement he had over that. So we totally knew about that one. They did make it official today. And then the interesting news earlier today that the Cowboys' former two-time Pro Bowl cornerback Trayvon Diggs signing a one-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks. All right. And Diggs put up great numbers for the Cowboys until he didn't, until things got away from him. All right, Mike and Andrea, appreciate your efforts today. I felt like, love the setting, like the background. I love everything that you guys pulled off today. Stephanie on site doing excellent work as always. Been very business-minded. They just have not the usual tomfoolery and the fun that we have. She's just really got her mind on business as she's closing deals as we speak right out here. And my man Mason doing a really nice job. He's part of that Big 12 deal they've done with Monster Energy. I've seen him have 2 or 3 monsters today, so he's supporting that. He's a man that I guess he needs a little extra energy, but he's really worked well today and kept us rolling, kept the sound. I think he's done a great job on the soundboard. Mason, thank you. All right. Oh, Mason's giving. He's deflecting all the credit to Mike. Mike gets plenty of credit around here, Mason, and he gets plenty of money. Quite honestly, I've looked at his paycheck. Pretty aggressive paycheck, and so he's done really well. So, Mason, you take all the credit you can receive, okay? And then I want a full report here in a minute because you've been checking out the old, whatever that is over there, the old Surf Snacks, that surf bar, the Waco Surf Bar. They got about 3 bars out here. They got a restaurant around the corner. It's really good. They have a restaurant right across there that's like part of the hotel resort scene. It's a good place to come. It's a place people put on their Crocs and they just walk right through here. She said, are you gonna do some surfing now, or have you already? You shredding? All right, out there in a little bit. All right, good deal. There they go. She's off to shred. I need to do some shredding. Okay, they're at the gym. Don't they have like shredding classes? Kevin, anything else from you? Is there anything you would like to add to that?
Nope. We're good.
Are you good?
Go float along.
Kevin's
good luck
okay,
finding your
good,
swimsuit.
Kevin.
Make sure you find one for Mike too.
I think Kevin cut himself off there. All right, see yourself out, Kevin. It is the Mosley Show from Waco Surf. We will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Score big on your next ride during the Kickoff to Savings event at Richard Car. Score your biggest savings of the year right now on Buick. Get a 3-row 2026 Buick Enclave and save $8,500. Or non-GM owners can save $6,750 on all 2026 Buick Envisions in stock. Get here now or go online and save thousands on Buick at Richard Car. Find championship savings and win on your next deal at their Kickoff to Savings event at Richard Car.
At Richard Car, we give you more.
Summer isn't over yet. Make every last splash count at Waco Surf. Catch perfect waves, float the lazy river, or relax on the beach while the kids make unforgettable memories. Stay in their hotel or private cabins, or hook up with your RV. Located just 90 miles from Dallas and Austin, set on 450 acres in the heart of Texas, Waco Surf is unlike any other water park around. Before school starts, give your family one more epic adventure. WacoSurf.com. Book your stay today and catch a wave.
Score big on your next ride during the Kickoff to Savings event at Richard Car. Score your biggest savings of the year right now on Buick. Get a 3-row 2026 Buick Enclave and save $8,500. Or non-GM owners can save $6,750 on all 2026 Buick Envisions in stock. Get here now or go online and save thousands on Buick at Richard Car. Find championship savings and win on your next deal at their Kickoff to Savings event at Richard Car.
At Richard Car, we give you more.
It's the 50th annual Westfest, presented by West Feeds, this Labor Day weekend in West Texas. Bring your dancing shoes and experience the power of polka with 13 bands and over 40 hours of polka music all weekend long. Westfest, just 15 minutes north of Waco.
When Central National Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball, we were hoping Coach Collin would bring that championship mindset to do whatever she has to do to take our workplace culture to the next level.
Well, these donuts are pretty good.
Guys, how we doing?
We're good, Coach.
Craig! What are you doing?
What do you mean?
You have to dunk it.
So far, I think our employees are really enjoying it.
Not everything's a basketball thing.
Did you say something, Craig?
No, ma'am.
That's what I thought.
Dude, I think she likes you.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.